me ni monyam ni amene ni bedin komo awie eye Ura Farouk Al-Wahab, or a product of the Afro-Asia Institute and Karl Franzens University, Graz, Austria. He's a globally certified and experienced diplomatic investment consultant. He's an expert in international relations, both for Africa and the world, politics as well as governance. He's well endowed and fairly balanced in African and international security affairs and state protocols. Wahab. They can endorse me, can't me, can't, and then the
Inshallah. Okay.
And near my air cost within our political space. Happy FM. A back tour up until a year, a back tour no party back, because I want tears here. Now they are quite down court. Who is saying? Okay.
No. Say it was this particular studio, this particular seat. So now, over there, my producer name from Pondi, they were here, and I did say, so if there is any election, be a very highly competitive from global perspective and then also analytical perspective point of view, and Ghana's geopolitics. So, it is not as easy as everybody thought. And at that time, they were like, oh, said they should say MPP, free SHS, and all that. Because at that time, Nubibeka said the opposition or the presidential candidate on the other side, I'm referring to President Mama, nobody gave him any chance. Because the campaign MPP started and MPP body politics ni shake up. Free SHS was actually the deal. And you know, BNM said it was a done deal. But some of us, we saw it different. We saw it different and realized that there's going to be a very hot competitive game. Reason being said, the main three factors are a go into politics in African country or any part of the world. In Ghana, the history of the country, we have never had a situation that certain president is being contested by a former president. People didn't look at it from the angle. But in that case, that was what was happening here. So 3 things ahead of that election, and I say we are consider. And the 3 things, one of them is the economic factor. That is the economy general view. The economy general view, all the time, certain president in incumbent, they are challenging on my government that, on your president that, into any economic records to show than to say the party manifesto. But in this case, it was not. The former president also has economic
track record
to show. And the economic track record, BBI, inflation, currency, investment, infrastructure, BBI, holistically, alcohol. Then the second level will be the incumbent factor. The incumbent factor, His Excellency, the certain president, at that time he was an incumbent. And he said, he will use the government resources, incumbent factor, or mobilize the resources easily. Ministers, or Pekas, Obenya, Manaba. So the incumbent factor, if it was against a president, another candidate we need a certain some of these things. But in the case of His Excellency, also the former president, also Ayibida. It also the protocols and also the advanced party and also the security because why vice and president, why minister then to also a certain crowd. And to social the incumbency ratio now, the parameters will not be more than 10:3, as it used to be the case. But this one should be about 10:8 or 10:7 apart, and close. That is another competition. The last one is the charisma level. The charisma level has to do with president of the sitting president, or incumbent, or Kobebia Nahokeka, Oni phobi abeye namfo, oni community bi abeye namfo, waye enyuma bi wo community bi, wabie hospital, wako bie school bi, wako ye road bi. Nti ne charisma no ekọ hom na wo say wode otwa yie o baabi. But the former president Susu Kobebia, the charisma level no is not only referred to homo personality, no, but then engulfed with all these factors, On the charisma level, no bon say, on Susu Akwesi hospital, baby, young complete. Chroma for no shares so no nebaya or baby we. Wakoye sugar factory bi baby, yembi. Ebi a chroma for na dwembe ban say yan trasun de na politics or no ba obabi. So these are the three stretches that goes into a heat when a former president contesting an incumbent president in the case of Ghana. And no, a brush it off and a brush it aside. Anything our friend say, free SHS, this policy. Yes, the policy direction of free SHS had come to stay. The former president dare not send Kobit Mabesisa. No, it has become a national asset. Until now, the voter at the dime minute, reasons have said no. Free SHS inquiries, so they move to the next level. What is the next level? Same Mary, and now Unia, and now or pregnant. And or that we bury near then you call the next village for hospital. But your hospital seem locality, but politics in TBI mayor. I'm saying this not because of that, but then two of them they all do the same thing. And people will now move ahead to vote on other matters. And some of those matters and is what influence in the elections. One, campaign. When the former president went underground, campaigning. He was doing, if you say, about 7 people in the The MPP and the NDC themselves, those ministers those MPs making noise today, the 137, no, good number of them would have lost their seat comprehensively. I mean, totally flat. But the former president campaign in the beer then impacted results na
So former president campaign had a ripple effect.
Exactly, because the campaign NDC for 1 year anyway. NDC MPs, they didn't do any campaign. They were rather concentrating on Agenda 2024, most of them. They realized, they thought, it was a done deal. The president can win. That was their mind. And for that matter, it was already a foregone alternative. NPP are taking lead. And they were rather concentrating post failure of the former president, so that they will see where they will align themselves. Happy FM. Blocks who is going to lead the party and who will be the new block of NDC. That was their concentration. And to look at the marginal, central region alone, look at how Greater Accra, look at other regions, even Ashanti region, other regions. And Nebisa said, which of the NDC MPs and a year that campaign for to get what they got? No. They didn't do anything. You didn't see any campaign. Billboard, you didn't see them. Billboard, if even the presidential candidate, because the incumbency factor, share billboard of His Excellency Nana-Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And in the MPs, what they call from Accra to Kumasi to a Janville billboards. Is that not the same thing that President Mama did to Nana-Addo in 2012, 2016? It is the same thing. So it tells you a billboard doesn't count. It tells you a posters and it doesn't count. So this is a close neck-to-neck elections ever held in the history of Ghana. The idea is that an incumbent president being contested fiercely by a former president. So if you look at it from the ratio now, you realize, the figures that you saw, from point it will not be easy for any of them to have that margin that they claim to be having. It is not possible. And lo and behold, that's where we ended. And I also said the amount for heighten up, amount for stimulating the idea of insecurity, thinking the country was going to be plunged into any chaos. I diffused that content and that assertions over years. This is not the country. We don't have that. Because if we have a country, now we need any military operations and you have a green bush, totally green bush, cassava and a plantain, any cocoyam, any coconut necessary. You can't have a civil unrest, a bear rock the whole country. It's not possible. You don't have where you need any rebellion, terrorism activity, and any affiliation be a cause. So the country cannot be plunged into crisis. Coupled with the fact that this country, among the countries of Switzerland of Africa, when you talk about cross-tribal marriage and cross-tribal marriages, Ghana is the first on the continent of Africa because we don't have tribal blocks, no demarcations, no frontiers. City of Accra, the west, Ubeshia Ubi, Tesemi Amiti, Volta Wom, Ashanti Wom, North Wom, Basa, messed up. Do you understand what I mean? Farouk Al-Wahab, the first thing that comes to your mind, North, Anamebwa, why that Wala, Sisala, Dagbani, or whatever. But if you are to ask me, I trace my roots, I'm from Amfoiga in the Volta region, so you misfire. Do you understand what I mean? You misfire. But what is a member there so a voter? What is our have there? But you got it wrong. So this is the kind of country, and many others. Ubeshia Ubiwaha, ne papa, kwapim, ne mame, ubese ne mame for Ashanti region, ne grandfather paternal, ufri voter, ne grandmother maternal. On Suzu free your friend is saying Braha for region. Accra no kwana waha. Where is your father? I don't know where he is. Forget about my father. Enti say if you want to see a country, now politicians need to scrutinize it, almost try some better, almost best simulate say fight be it is an advantage of them. Said if there was a chaos, then one would do XYZ, but that was not the case. I said to Frimpong, I said to that time no Ukoliga na Owaha. Okay, say, and then I predicted, say, we might experience the first time, I say, yenya coalition government. Brother Pajokai, you remember? Because there is a coalition government, then supposedly any country be or say who believe in democratic credentials. No, that is the country. This is the listen. So 137, 137, and one a year. What do you need? What do you need? Go into the opposition side and bring those people who are liberals, not the very far right or far left. Bring the liberals. Now, Ome support. That would have been a click. But because winner takes all, and into the dome could be a parliamentar, now Omoko, so who is the majority and who is not the majority. And on that basis, leading into the election, post-election, and the DBD say, you be a re-election. Winner. Women, I'm not surprised, and I've never been surprised over the event. The reason being said, yes, our democracy, Ghana hasn't got all out mature democracy as we claim to have. But we have only political tolerance. We don't have democracy that you think we have. No, it is not true. Political tolerance goes into allowing people to have a free finger to vote. Yamo biasum gidi baba krana yes settle. That is political tolerance compared to a country like Uganda, compared to a country like Congo, compared to a country like Cameroon, compared to other West and then Sub-Saharan, Central and then South African countries, you know. The reason they say these countries, you know, they don't have political tolerance. And to social be to say, your friends say, you were Museveni, or Bobby Wine, no de a year guni, no opposition leader, no agunu. Dr. Basije, no agunu handcuff, no de nakushim, 3 months before the election, no them, you election was action. We don't have that. We have political tolerance. But when you talk about democratic credentials, any democracy, if we have indeed a good democracy, there are certain things that you can't call it democracy. It's very undemocratic. We do a lot of things.
What are some of the things?
One, about say Omoko Parliament. Now you transition the 8th Parliament of the 4th Republic. Now who they see her, now who they vote. Interestingly, Yabenya opposition person being who is an outgoing, and for sure, my good friend, the first ever most African longest serving MP, Wababe Speaker of Parliament. Are you getting me? what can we do as a country? What we could do as a country, not at that time elections in taking place, that unnecessary noise, military call, any did there no more, that was fine democratic dispensation, that is freedom, free will, etc. But it's perfectly undemocratic. Now, Ababedu said, Yenino 137, 138, one this, one that. What do we need? We don't play politics at that point anymore. You play the national interest, and then you play what the Ghanaians sent you people to go and do. In this regard, we are looking at how best that these two politicians will realize the importance that the Ghanaian voter is now wise. The Ghanaian voter is no more stupid. The Ghanaian voter is no more foolish. The Ghanaian voter is no more coward. They've spoken. So what do you have to do? Come down and then sit as a country and propagate the agenda of the national interest. What is the national interest? Defend my education, defend my defense, defend the security, interior issues, economic issues. Are you getting me? All sectors. Every economic sector, where we call it ministerial sectors, it is to impact economy of a nation, giving a triple effect of what? Impacting the life of your citizenry. That is what the whole thing democracy is about. But in our case, our democracy is only preparing my finger, my thumbprint, any old dear, mamonko, mamunye dede, ya pasumje, what you say. Look at where now. When was the last time after elections, Yehu said, Islamic ulama, Islamic council, Maslachi, national imam, so Kobompaye, Emompaye Magana Masumjima, what to be done? You elections, what to say? The Christian community say, Yemompaye Magana, what to be done? Because I had a revelation, politicians engineer, a government, a peaceful election. Or no any government in Nunya, not Bibimra, near Nyan, but we are the woman who am I aglo Ghana, aglo for Jesus. May a bompaye, no more handkerchief in a white Timisa Ukrumha, and I'm a ahead of elections. Where did that Ghana press and Paibono Muyano, Yayan both Maslachi, any access are sorry for Ghana away. Empire na yebo ama politicians no so called say omunya the right thing na country ninya ahoto no sampire ne yajai obati sampire we bibiema any fasting na sorry for year
next 4 years
that hypocrisy
enya empire no nkwampo eye revelations
only their toys. Those boys are clever. Some of those pastors, they are clever. Are you getting me? It's a political season, electioneering season. They must also eat. Abambedi di kakra. Do you understand me? Couple with the fact that Corona ma omo revenue conform. What I say? To the extent, shamefully, first time in the history of Ghana, that we get an Islamic cleric, Muslim. I'm saying this with emotions and passion and anger because I'm a Muslim. So a Muslim will sit and defy what the Allah, Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have told us, that you cannot speak the mind of He God. How much more do you sit on national radio and then command, instructively say, Allah can't you must be, I'm sorry, you must be a crazy man. We don't have that in our mosque. You don't say somebody said that I want to have a breakfast with Jesus. And I say, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, nameba kurane Jesus adameba na prophet ada. We don't have that in Islamic context. But these elections, we saw all of them, all in the good name. Say, give the prophecies, let the highlights. Now from publish it. Now these are things that we see before elections, but after the elections, some prophecies, away. But what I say. Now, let's put it aside. Bakusu Wantia said, yes, democratic dispensation, and then what goes into democracy. And he said, if from 1957, and if yaya elections, abe pemine, mebajo utiemi, naya babenya the so-called First Republic, I explained what is first, second, third republic. People didn't know over here. First republic, second republic, third republic. The fourth one, Abema 8 parliaments. So say Yabenya 8 parliament. Now a fourth republic there. What really any problem say? Every election, next 4 years, Baba, we have to change voters card. Happy FM. What kind of democracy that we think say we are learning, we're picking, or we are emulating? I don't see UK, I don't see Germany, I don't see Botswana, I don't see Namibia. Infant politics, political country, Omoko, Namibia. 1980 no independence. 1990, 92 and no benya independent. Or voters ID card back home. That thing rolls on automatically when you're 80 and no copy. So you have national ID card. So why were we having a national ID card running side by side with election voters ID card? So next 4 years, somebody would wake up and challenge the voters ID card. And to share the money spent on voters ID card, money spent on national ID card, compare the two. Now compare Kolebua will be that former or deliver. Compare Ubia or T Ukrum Mikrum. Now that we bury my identical hospital. Does it make sense? Is that democracy? Democracy is not whereby somebody goes out there and join a queue and vote without being slapped or slapping somebody and that's making noise. That is what Ghanaian democracy, our politicians, our parliamentarians, the governance and the government structure tells us that this is what is democracy. It is a shame. Do you understand me? And because of this misunderstanding, that leads us to where we are today. 2012, we were in court. Do you get it? 2016, there was no court issue because there was an overwhelming balance. 2020, there is a court because one says, we are new. But Mami Misa Sefa says still, democratic nation, beacon of African democracy.
Are we really a beacon of African democracy?
Why? Ghana? No. What are you talking about? Who? American? Say a bro fire chair, no. Me pedocho mu say, okay, say gateway. I'm for destinations how can gateway. Gateway is a security a watchman. We a watchman. Obi teacher ho no with the best. What are you talking about? Me say, you need democracy for Ghana. Maybe we are yet in the process. You need Sudan. Your political tolerance. There are two things that we have to know. Me ba what I say. Obinko momienye din yentwan 4 years ne beso sesia eno ya political tolerance mamunko bush mo bia nkoko munya abotre what you say democracy no ubehu the importance of the other role obi so what the other party will play obetima aboa the national income obetima the national development agenda no okwa any friend democratic nation yeni sa democracy here now 2012 the election petition no until there will be a certain kind of proposals court no we say and about 2016 and one would have expected say, after 2016 elections the democratic dispensations the things all that goes into election we are back to what?
It's also you need democracy. Then where do we get this phrase from? Democratic dispensation.
Oh, what did I channel? I'm just quoting what we have. You don't get it. I'm quoting what we have. So if we have that democratic dispensation, we went to court 2012 to learn, to study. We went to 2016, no court. How do we go back to the same court in 2020? And we are claiming to be the beacon of African democracy. That is my question that I'm asking. And the bedu situation still who endorsed what paper? Party agent or say I'm signing here. Party way seminar. Indeed, on one sign here when there's a heat from the party or say my signature me signing here. And besides simple question say when a call center where or infant or minor and on your bed the 18 and on your bed the 20 and won't cry a voters card. And it's so cry voters ID card. That's how the pink sheet in the man, so blue sheet or green sheet in the man. Say on sign behalf of the party. Is it difficult to make a photocopy of the ID card no attach it? And so on there. Is it difficult? Did we do that? We didn't. And timelessly, no, every time there is an argument, I signed, I did not sign. And to share, and then I be leading into the Supreme Court. Why we need applications of applications. Ababe do say, there was situation, how do we call it? The state judges, the Supreme Court judges, that's supposed to be busy with other constitutional things. Also in the country, no, sanitizing, all of them, and they say no, the country is on standby. Ubia sorry no pa or public office or civil service office krana obakono or share television or glue or share what they you to fatwa because in a party either argument for or argument against anti a national income and affected, national output affected, national input affected, workers' contribution is also affected because we've come to understood it say yes. Your court there, Oko Chuso chief executive cry share television. That's what you say ask me here. Some of us have remarked and said, yes, democracy as we so claimed, and into young court. But some of us have also remarked, it is not possible, say any Ghana, not Supreme Court chief justices, or no abejina ho, abeso president him was sworn in. Before Parliament, Wajano Kwama ni Kofie, Yamani drink wanom, Oma dining, Oma wine, a sign of national solidarity, beautiful. Red, gold, green flag, national anthem, black star, yabo, wasalu to be, Waja President, Ama Parliament, Speaker of Parliament, Wafon car, Ukofi, mo, why are there? Won't make you president in there, Anameboa. The person comes back and mounts a bench. Then you come to him. Say, now my election was not fairly done. Maintain me what say, me pa chow. Yanto fofro, masman no. I don't want to go into the arguments and etc. and the process. Some of them you'll be a little bit too much emotional and talk. Excuse me, as Americans will talk nonsense. You understand me? And you will leave that side. Primarily, once you know, say. There were how many Supreme Court judges? 17 and answer 15. Papa, I was saying. Happy ever. 17 or 15
judges.
Judges, Supreme Court judges. Let's see. Omi said 15. 15. Find out. Well, let's be on 15. The first sitting, the first panel, had in the middle of the court the Supreme Court Chief Justice of the land himself sitting there. Or no, a swear president in. Or no, an abet na ho. Now you 15 Supreme Court judges. Your first set no 7. But what they say? Who is at the center? Chief Justice. And the Chief Justice knock first case down. He sits as the head. One in the colleagues, 3 here and one middle. I was expecting, say, the other members, that is the Chachu and Co, would have raised even that issue of the panel setting for the first time. Because what does it tell? What it tells you is case a bother on constitutionality, an election petition before court, and yet MPship and your member of parliament that you can say and shut down here too much. But presidential election Abedu Supreme Court judge a court, it tells you that is the apex court of the land. What does it tell you? It tells you there's a high possibility case in the bed review babam possibility review babam. Now look at it, it's interesting. Supreme Court Chief Justice not a medal or yet 7. Next review bama. Oh, for 2 account on the money year 9. You can bring a junior judge to come and sit in the middle. It's the same Supreme Court judge. Chief Justice never know. And the review no ban no ko. Una ko review be ma the 2 ba come and 11. On man a beche. But what I said. So one would have expected the first challenge in my view. If we are talking about democracy, I would have to challenge ABS 2012. Supreme Court Judge, Chief Justice, once name. So you elevate from there. They reserve first so that in case of at a point review upon review, appeals upon review, to add the numbers and then balance the equation. But when it are starting with the Supreme Court Chief Justice Netiho. What do you review or the two Nabaka Nameboa? Or the two Baka, do you think say junior judge and a barber chair? One a chair. And you know, I know that for good in China middle or not a middle. And you could review be my two Babaka and number 11. About two will do 17 instead of the chairman. And there is no point. Say you be wasted the country's mineral resources. There is no point. You bet me derail the processes of advancement. Say you swear in a president now.
Happy effort.
We should allow because 4 years. Now that brings me back to the point of one thing that I'm saying, and I'll say it again. Let me be challenged by anybody. Tell me one single benefit and the credibility, sensibility, the cleverness and importance of say, still a country who 64 years of independence. Now Kokofa ministers appointed say, Udroma Babegu Parliament now by Greli Womu. Moncha me 8 Parliament of the Fourth Republic, 1 minister, a president, are introducing. 1 minister, president, are introducing. 1 nominating. Call him designate. Yadinaba. Wako. I'm a president now. Questions you ko year no die. Enko ye ma wodro. Ebi asida.
Ebi asida.
Ba che bi asida. Chairman 1 minister designate. Ni colleagues in parliament. I see ya grele no. What is the vision? Yes, we there one pass. But what to be there? Into what is the point? So who was the president in the time? And you the president too. What is the point? So when you politicians, Marco Parliament da. When him said that exercise na moyano. It is just only a funny democrat. How do we call it? A constitutional requirement. It's a funny. Interested and serious nations, they've aborted the whole thing. Fawomobra. It is what we have. Now the most interesting is this is the president. Yes, wasade returning ministers. Why introduce woman or side maba? And Timothy Moko Grili woman. Papa, more Grili woman. Yan sha whining na ebeba say yes it one pass it into Yamana Kofi.
Don't you believe, sir, this time around something of that sort can happen? Papa,
something of that sort will happen. Have you checked your records and your files? Say, how many are they? 13, 26 with the chairman. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you. Now at 13. Which country on earth are the minister designate appointed to be grilled? You busan questions. Ono wia or sorry if you see to so no changing jacket no so better bubusa the young minister. Are we correct?
No.
Are we correct?
Because I've seen a young one. Yeah, point to
Asla. Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe. All of them, they come back. Now I bet now say no bubusa questions.
Happy
and so no bubusa questions, sir. What do you think? Entisha, Papa? Country we say comic reliefs, cantata show, any game. You patch a country beer because we are hypocrites and they don't want people. I'll say it because mini certificate. Are you getting me? Mini CV. Obia me for me CV me for me pay job, Minya government work that, minya Ghana official, no civil, no public, nothing. Me minister so ma ba both all of them. O me ya me now for they know. Me no can say we do I know my for all them because I don't care. Because I will not come to you as a friend. The very day I appoint you a minister, no, that is the end. Me friend will be because I'm from because I don't need anything from you. But let us stop. Let us talk about the national discourse in a positive way. Say, with the 13 members, I bet now, Papa shared the kind of questions.
Happy FM.
Alphabet questions. JSS questions, with all respect to most of them, but then with respect also to Ghanaians, say, we don't settle on some of these funny questions. We don't settle on some of these immature questions. Some of these amateur questions from a person who is a legislator or law Amamedia Kofi the next 4 years. Do you listen to some of the questions?
I do.
How? Let me call my client and to be an but I think say I perform very well on international front, so I'm not bad. Sir, Obejinaha, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Speaker, when you're giving the nod, are you crazy? Giving what nod? Ask questions that impacts the Ghanaian's life, that enforces the advancement of what? Economy, that creates job, that gives hope, that gives the Ghanaian what we are looking for, that builds up our infrastructure, that builds our social services, that builds our defense, that makes the country and everything strong. These are questions that the person or worker sector now be jina no agyan say obeka say bribi udidi maami bi oton koku atem okay osian me kai si ama time say koye minister obedi na atem biem why na stupid obeka say an me kwa kodi na atem
ene me pa chaw menye bio
na bi ono de on kan o se menye o mse pa chaw adwebre. This is what we settle on at the sectors as questions from legislators of the country. When somebody needed say obebisa a technical question, into me bisa me ho say, see we nipa 275 being parliamentarians, and they were 13 selected from 137 here, 137 there. Must we repeat those people who have been nominated as a minister designate still to be part? Abra also a contingent over 120 something etero. Which country does that? It beats my intelligence. It beats my stupidity. It is any panel. On one any colleagues. Now, question now. It is only personally powered by nature. The questions are what? Personally powered by nature. Not questions say, sector na okono. Papa, nipa saying and a juma. Why in research? Sector na okono. Internally generated fund. Job creation. Now with the whole sector no. I work on debia budget in a decotu 3 months na wako hono. Na budget nasa. No, I call it for contingency through the Ministry of your friend saying finance. No, surgeon ho.
Happy
one generating income. Trade on generating income. Fisheries on generating income.
Agriculture.
Agric on generating income.
Defense.
Security even generates income more than any other one generating. Defense J budget now. What's the media soja? Yeah, they are borders. And it comes to the question, say, either the panelists or the panel members, without due respect, and then mumusa, and that's a compromised atmosphere. Meaning what? What it means is, how does a legislator of a country, with a parliament, knowing the sensitivity and sensitive nature of the ministry, i.e. defense and then interior and security. Now, be to me, besides the defense ministry, how many speed now, you know, global, and terrorism, how many boats? Speedboat now. Mr. Speaker, I have 4. I have 5. Oh, Nyankopon Ghana. And to minister na munankasa that minor question alphabet question. Who said this question I will not ask because what in national television worldwide and I will see with speedboat 6. And it is a Togo no bakona so the 80 bar.
Wakum.
Why no we? And can the MP, the legislator now we are panelists or who says that question you sir? Can the minister designate also know say that question I will not answer? But what is it? Minister of Health, Ebe Manto desk. PCR testing. Kotoka International Airport Company there no or say the report has not reached me. I'll find out. But what is it? Aviation Minister, doesn't it? Airport near Nedia. Onim company no. Onim care company we see her. Foreign affairs because we are dealing with foreigners incoming, outgoing. So they are stakeholder. Foreign affairs say, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm yet to find that the report has not reached me. Report no cause swimming am I. You understand? Ministry of Finance, Beba, on Susunim. And technically, ironically, Ghanaians and then the minister now or sector no onim. And me met my family kiosk. At the Akosiko to International Airport, they might pretty them because nobody seems to know who brought it. And these are questions that honorable members of parliament atna se na sefa the work can is when you are giving the nod.
You can congratulate you, cry.
Yeah, oh, yeah, of course, I need the amount. So me and for. Say any serious nation. Oh yes, I interview no, and now that grilling no, winning no. The first thing no, they dispatch you because when you're incoming, when you continue recall into court nekofa nefabra. Question the mantis will be able to say. Ayawaso, Minister of National Security. Also, Behe Sasadi and Ibin Sibim. But report as to Nipa Koyano. Police force uniform be from Nanya. Military uniform by from Nanya. National Security uniform on baby free. And it's only baby a near reporter. Serious nation. Mimi feel say it is void and completely irrelevant. See about Grele or because nya bibia no bia beka na ba ni nya kwan form no nya na adwuma mo nyina kwatrom office no mo nto aso no. Say if you say Grele for Ghanaians to know there. How do you tell me say me call office bia mu a and na share report no 2 years before election ye ho report. So we are Grele we na ya so in our minister our land cruisers ya start changing no. That time I compare report in there. What is the need of that?
Happy FM.
But what you say? And non chain. Ye benya Minister of Parliamentary Affairs. Also Babatinasi Mr. Sechimen Sabunsu. Journalists in this country. Mama a great the service to the nation. Mommy say one minister. One your friend is saying committee. A year appointment committee baby say. That ben Abraham ye cha S Gratiam.
Happy FM.
Bajo. Young has a question, Baba. Parliamentary privileges. Any omu loan. Any omu car. Any omu salary. Because I'm on your research bin. How much does a Ghanaian parliamentarian earn? About $9,000 or more. Young so be back as a salary next. Sa question, Baba Hana. Young so be back babu say minister say no Ghana dear boy a kaba kono S Gracia na agin for 4 years no enti say the nod no mawa ubetwa na papa sa question wa babu sasa de no ho no wan hwe danko ma mpie enti omo ba aba discuss parliamentary telephones enkonya like they did some years ago.
Some years back
enkonya na yete so no when we see a chair, your chair one year, your office, and the job 600 giddy vote budget. Do they vote the same thing into going to refurbish Makola Market? Do they do the same thing into going to Agboblochi? Is it the same thing they do at other places? Security issues, and in Yamanema. Is that what they do? Is that the questions they ask? They don't ask those questions. They don't want to know. It is not their business because either say omonti asiye what they ask, and I say any dahun, and I say amateur or immature politics and no play or because Papa she said yeah, but what I say so when you a whole minister and a sector team produces car. I'm talking about fisheries, Mauritania, on the fisheries and Morocco or the fish and a shan. Most and big countries in the world that one make kisika and Ghana Ocean is one of the best with species with all varieties. Now when your minister say betra wenima na ubusa na moko campaign ya ma not na tuo no batubiem as mean tubium we ni nipa da bi me hu ye report minister bia aba recalling minister bia aba obia no the report has not reached me before say ye be elections no. I'll follow up when I go back to the office. What's now? Nana do say a good president. One reshabu for 4 years. What now? Report to Zang. I just now God.
I'm going to type it.
A grow with your home. A grow. I guess we Jerusalem. I had
Happy FM.
Happy 90 banana FM. Not good to and then Wahab Farouk. And I'm in a chinko area. Number one, send me beside. Okay, sir. You mentioned 3 key issues.
Yes.
Done in the lead up to the elections.
Yes.
You mentioned
economy,
the economy,
incumbency,
and the charisma level.
These are the 3.
These are the 3. See, now in this, no, the candidates, the 2 major candidates, President Nana Dango Akufo-Addo,
yes.
former President John Dramani Mahama,
yes.
they were a bit
because they all have economy to
good.
show.
Now, you said then the Ghanaian voters say are discerning, no?
Yes,
or graduating beyond
the policy. And then 3 SHS.
Exactly.
1 man, 1 wife. Mm-hmm. One house, 1 district, 1 family.
One man, one wife.
One man, 1 wife.
Mantio.
1 man, 1 wife. 1 district, 1 dime. 1 man, 1 wife. And then America said opposition at that time. NDC and co. OBC may 3 SHS. Now what you should also to party headquarters say it is not possible. What's a 1 district, 1 factory? What's a possible? Also Kaka say 1 house, 1 helicopter. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. They were raising policy. So
you counter with your alternative policies.
Now I say one more counter. Say short man cannot be a president of Ghana. These were the things that made them Ghanaians got pissed in 2016. Obika policy. 1 district, 1 factory in my 1 man, 1 wife, no. An attempt. That's how a nation is built. You don't expect to obey me. And to the but now, Parliament, now, Green Business, Moka Assembly to my man, Papa, what the policy about? What the culture say, they cannot finish everything. What start to be? And also, come out with the policy. That is how a nation is built. You don't tell them so you can't do it.
So you don't just rubbish someone else's.
That is the problem. They were concentrating on personal attack. Personal attack of parliament, your friends, presidential candidate. And Ghana has never had a president or a short before. Now he's a president. So do you go and live in Togo? It was very relevant. Match it. What's 1 district, 1 man, 1 wife? What's 1 man, 2 wives? Then first a Ghana member for Butumawa. Because 1 freedom and liberty to marry more. So you don't say it will not work. Policy is policy. But this time around, on says watch it cleverly initially. Now, His Excellency, the former president, the campaign, it became too much of emotional attack. When you're possible. But when it got to a point, I think he had good advices. And now he was saying, yes, 3 SHS mean to mean. What I say, or start here.
Yes, initially.
Yes, or a year community. Until he tries a community, say, no, CC hospitals be a young, or call her, me ba be ye. Man, you ninty, and I want
to know how much of an impact and some of these policy discussions, have on the voting pattern.
The voting pattern is MPP relaxed. The campaign we saw them in 2012. The campaign 2016, they relaxed. They didn't introduce 1 policy again. They were doing only rehearsals. And they were doing only ironing.
Was it because of complacency on your part?
That is what I'm saying, sir. They relax. Relaxing is complacency. But what I say. So now everything went into the slogan, 4 more for Nana. 4 more for Nana. What that crowd said, 4 more for Nana Wati. So that was the campaign. So they were concentrating this time around on the slogan. So they left the policies that they introduced in 2016, 2012. So they were short, but MDC was also a little bit unprepared. So if they had also set through and came out with a policy that would be socially balanced, now neutralizing the base. So who the 3 SHS above? Meso cry them in to sell them on employment side. So I'll make sure. Sadia Omokano, I swear my blood, say Ghana ni bia benye adwumaye. Sanka ono no kwa employment liar. That is where the Ghana have a problem. It's not the economy inflation. Let the inflation go to 300%. If I have a balanced job that gives me an income, I wouldn't really be affected. Do you understand me?
Yes.
And now me sure say, almost back that kind of a line. And also be raise extraordinary. And in the end, you know, acquire say, acquire duplication. Majority as say, the way can na counterbalance. Wouldn't mean man better than you. Yes, you are by being say to the sense say a kobaya ukada policy a buyer and your friend is saying disables where we ninano. These are policies, you can call them say and major policies. But MPP did not reinforce the policy that they brought. And to me, a duplication of the manifesto of 2016 and what my impacting.
Could it be because, I mean, there was a realization at a point in time, say, many of the promises that they made, they were not able to fulfill within that particular time frame?
That is where you see, say, you said you do this. Me, you, some of us who understand national development say, some of them are overemphasized. So, in that order, and in our country, we still are here bread. Because don't promise more and do less. Promise less and do more. That is where that is how the voter or they are to him. And that is not what it's supposed to be. What is supposed to be, he said, realize at least not all, but sizable or marginable what amount of promise now we are na and graduate so people can easily understand say but papa, in all fairness, and I've said it and I'll say it again, say but you see I'm great Minister of Trade.
Mr.
In Ghana, one of the things say Ghana Revenue Authority, Finance, one of the biggest revenue joint is the Ministry of Trade. Because if not anything at all, free money, unya free standard board. Free money, unya free food and drugs board. Yes, me de moi ba me ba register line e mono. Omzuko fu money 10 bra. They bet you $3,000. Now me register mono. Near the mono call laboratory. Call ayi your friend is saying food and drugs board. Call pot club ni obi nom they no e mo test. And the chemical ben no dey test this money papa.
We don't know co-pot. As they say, they don't have co-pot.
Can on the basis of the cheaper one.
Happy FM.
And so every day, importers they rise to call near the cabbage you near Yegum. Friday no Friday no say a monum de banner, ye quarters say more won't be a yano. Correct directors car here to gum. Share drinks. The contributor say that Ben Aminum Yen who say a near me be Ghana import. It's an import oriented nation. And near the banning no call papa. Juice crana and show we crana. Yes, a fab then for 3 pack original pack in the 24. Packing 6 a meal. And show we young cock. Obacono na Omatiano no. I didn't poison who's no man's already try. Free money. It's not different from standard boards. Free money. Says can in our moje. And this is a trade. Now a facility like Commander Sugar Factory. It is under your supervision.
Happy FM.
Now say you bought $20 million car. Ghana tria, se fe tria, from point to be a tria. Ne a two machine a two. Ne si ho. Now watch man for ho. Ne you a door ne a door.
And young run a crew from one granny yahi. In Fidiania attack go on a sound
state because so best sign obeyed. Na yen me say yet me am a farming of sugarcane across because zone na one a whole nyina ya water ayi nti sugarcane a very flexible and easier. Abra Ghana your consumption of sugar in this country in millions of dollars a year. In millions of dollars in Togo, in millions of dollars even almighty Nigeria, the West African belt, you need one serious state-of-the-art built sugar cane factory like the one in Sihan. And the cow supply Ghana, supply Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, Obia no sugar Cote d'Ivoire. Senegal sugar consumption 10% of the total world, total Africa. Senegal 10% of total African consumption.
Senegal. Order keke. Na yankope Nigeria. Yampe Lagos nkwa.
Lagos State anaba Onitsha. Na yan supply ho. One, you are feeding home, no importation of rice. Two, the job, the machine announcement is built to take about 2,500 workers with administrators and then laborers and everything all combined. 3 shift, 24-hour service. Papa, enti say, by Minister of Trade. Nessa ya grelo ni musawa. Your questions me one say, Honorable Kuja Trabla Kwabusa. A question be and Jamie Tim Kakrebi. And I asked myself, say, now, sir, you were also in government 4 years ago, 8 years ago.
Happy FM.
And this question, Nadia, you answer it yourself. Said, then I'm also what did you do? Papa, fairness is the key word of the game. What you didn't do, and you knew, say, so I didn't obey. What comes say we should not. My comparison of trade shows and what? Young compare what? What do we compare ourselves with, and what should we compare results with? We compare results with existing results, so that you get to know the fairness. And it's not like today you sit here, and therefore you ask this. But when you were there, answer me what you also did. I'll be very rude if in case say, come a nominated member into a can refer to what you also did it. Because most of them, you've all been ministers before, or you've been in government before. What did you do? And Abedu Bibi said, Parliament back again, Abaye advising and a counseling forum. Minister Amateur sector. Ghanaian how many students, how many of you, and not even the orientation and what goes into the sectors. Minister of Fishery, then Juma, and he knows what Timmy that's what raise employment. These are questions, sir. How would you be able to employ people? Who were chief directors, sir? What year a Juma? What got pension? No 1 man extra what? 1 man extra contract. Ascension. Or call 2 years. Or call ascension or by a consultant and a salary near times 2 chances or who students are or maybe master degrees, PhD holders. Juma. What's your experience? Nipan's menya 58 years. Now, no one a Juma sector 40 years. And so quite Juma no 10.
When you're 58.
When you're 58.
Why you're Juma
40. Ni age I want to record 58.
Why are Juma ministry
40
for 40 years?
40 years. Why chief director for the past 23 years? Uti free market 10. And to call Registrar General Department, Depia Penny Abbas and the date of birth. Because only country among other African countries are Yetimika's a birth set. Oh, my media, Yama Papa, the Yempe, Bayer for. And nobody challenged the legality of it. Because all of them they benefit. And to cry birth set that I Yempe, Yepe new one so that you can adjust change. No, I swear, David, no, they are better so. Be date of birth, you say. Oba real age action obituary notice. How do you say I retire at 60? Now with 3 days time, now obituary family the 78 aba.
Happy FM.
Sefa, does it make sense? What's it?
Happy FM.
I retire 60.
Or retire 60.
Okay.
No, I would 2 months.
Now, oh, yeah, but Busumi Munuachi.
Oh, we are Busumi Munuachi.
We are no post and so no.
78.
78.
Yes, I can't hold Yantiman Koji.
Maybe within 3 months, no, the years become. Who's the young woman got a Viapim and Yanis in Viapim?
Number work a minute. Bata banga. Minute Oba knows 25. Minute 15 years still I have when you're 35. When you're 25.
Happy FM.
On ye knee.
But what I say,
Ghana ye knee.
And you have students. I graduate to Mgu Street. So now, yes, say a better parliament. I get as Gracia. Net sika for the
1,000 Ghana.
Yes, ska S gratia no. You bet me the akwa BA companies. S gratia no. You bet me open up. Even let me say it. And then patro journalist mumusa. Which country on earth? And the minister Jessica, actually a professional doctor. Which country? On African continent. Minister you 42,000 Ghana cedis monthly, excluding the dog allowance, the kerosene allowance, the clothing allowance, the household, and then the watchman and security BBR, excluding net 42,000. Now, my medical doctor 12,000, 11,000, specialist consultant.
Happy FM.
Or nurse, other part of the world, nurses be surgeon nurses, doctors, consultants.
Yes.
Now a nurse, the salary 800 Ghana cedis, 1,001. O school teacher, wachra dear sa, the salary 1,200. But minister ko ekoji 42.
We've been high.
When you know see papa, and I'm catching as a country why are you hypocrite? There's no hypocritic nation of the world than this country. But let me tell you, Sika country we want it's one of the richest countries on earth. She country all mineral resources, as I keep saying. Resources be on commercial volume, or the liquid one is I fuel as the account. Ghana and Timi are harnessing the opportunities the oil sector. Your friend said the local content. Yentima harnessing. Ghana Tnahama water in your way. I call Regan Swa, the senior ma. Nigeria Nina importo. Ghana Tnahama laundries. Sri Lanka for any senior magic $10,000. Ghana Tnahama divers. Abra Shama will be to be the whole 24 hours. Ekwachi a yukusi ba a yibakon, kotobakon. Yentimi. Painters, Yantimi. But what I say? Now look at the volumes and the huge money, and come back to talk about the gold that we have. 100 years, take it, and I'm giving you a research. Any Ghanaian also a fact. Mineral Commission Omra, 100 years, 64 years independence. 36 years before independence, Abrofuntam. The last 100 years, Ghana and Timi mine gold every chroma. You get 10% of Ghana gold mine. 10% of this country gold is not gonna cover a minerals commission could be some say total land of Ghana you go don't send no more money. It's not up to 10%. What problem they saying? What's your problem? Sefa 100 years record of Ghana today. Billions of dollars are brought from Canada, Australia, Russia, China, any America destinations, UK, the Onsha, what you say, Ono may say the last 100 years, I feel Ghana mining your gold reserve 10%. Only 10%. So far.
10% is in Timina, Sikapudu,
billions and a
what's the eternity? Takwa said the eternity.
Yes, or what's a town? Shatakwa town. They say Abrofuna Fenyansa. What do they do? What they do in say some of my mining beam or by exploration or better large scale mining. Concession no to Australia. No geological report to have satellite. No we are Wabaji land no will share the whole community 18,000 kilometer square. 18,000 friends hectares. Or we any no report to New York document no. Fe. What you know, not there to Australia Stock Exchange, not there to Canada. Land or ton less than $300,000, $400,000. I could share mineral commission bet $20,000 a year for a year documentation. What you know at the stock exchange, $15 million, $20 million. 3 days once a free stock purchase yato. What the $1 million less? I to talk Land Cruiser, I'm a state official. I may be a woman high dying. I'm an ma. Now, no, they are begging 15 million. And the country, can't you perfect your own documentation of the land? Can't you perfect that? Can't you perfect your own documentation? Now, Bronini Mama stock no. How much does it take? Master, geological. So now there is do you know where they pick the geologists? Geological Survey Department Ghana no matter how workers in Brunei no or the gadget back home workers who issue Ghana geological survey for retire for the present and woman frustration am my yare o makofo mi no mdo field akotu to pits research geological report no you are putting the document together wa pay 30,000 dia mom nyina kofi or the cost stock exchange why perfect documentation bag him wa dana say minister thank you minister of mineral resources science and no dana say no call abeji 15 million
near ti ho
wo betra na abakwai che baby abakwai
near yeti ho
o wia na country a wo ache broni within 1 year $20 million free of charge. Now wafa plate now call Holland now kwaje $25,000, $600,000, $500,000. So they buy immigration electrification, immigration digitization, or by passport office digitization or whatever. Your friend is saying Holland government. It's a loose. They don't care.
Happy 90.9 FM na sugu so utino mene Al-Wahab Farouk oye development consultant, international development consultant, and I'm nene diplomatic consultant, and I'm nene enkomo eye and some na ya bro so no de do so na me de over 100 years Ghana gold no 10% penny too and na ye no gold near the big woman we mu
was I
gold no
you need gold reserve
you need be
me not sure you gold reserve cry any
you two gold woman
but the any as reserve the Bank of Ghana and backup in the gold reserves water because for stronger gold reserve and can inflation the economy and flat because called backup the anazami
I say cocoa I sign etio ha
na say your cocoa no share ye crow ye sabi ye kwasiafo once your cocoa no West Africa yani Cote d'Ivoire other cocoa producing countries Ecuador, Dominican Republic, Ghana, what do I say? Gabon mo small
Happy FM.
Ghana, quality being here Ghana. Mass production abedu Cote d'Ivoire. Do you know, sir, when Ghana went into cocoa board, established a board, when it's a Cote d'Ivoire tonight, they don't have cocoa board. They don't have a cocoa board. It is a management under the Ministry of Agric. With the what board balloon.
Happy FM.
Big board.
And I'm to
big board. Yenya problem. Spraying. Yenya problem. Pricing. Yenya problem. Payment. But what does it? Buying companies and produce buying companies near the private companies. What you call no or near just a machine no or the cozy farmer no ho. Farmer nim she
no buno.
70 kilos is to 55. No for gap. Abra will be anim cocoa body aware, Ghana will be anim. Said the other farmers no. You don't need 2 products to make your country rich. You don't need 2. 1. You don't need 2 of 30 million populated nation. Now go there every chroma say be we no. That's 100 years. 1 minus 10% of your gold. Sika buy na country ni timinya. Otimi selano. University and go for that 2020. Nepa 20 in a room cubicles. O problem ne say untimi my university student loan. Na say ne papa ko bobosia savings and loan. O problem ne say untimi create employment. O problem ne say public sector, service sector untimi opim. O problem ne say ministers better na silom ka jeze when I go the report when I go look into it. Minister ben na call office e kromo already. Na hwa countries wo ma adopted the friend is saying the permanent secretary for no. You know what they do? What the minister na ekoho until sector na okonase I demonstrate clearly ya hu o nyina parliamentary friends vetting ya hu o nyina you clearly tell us that the okika kran onim the okika happy and what do? Any serious nation say technocrat na chief director countries to say Botswana money adadina omusu permanent secretaries. The minister goes there as a political what advisor. Yeah, then call a minister. But then the minister holds the purse. Whereas in any serious nation, Europe near that, is the chief directorate, the management holding the purse. Until who management hold the purse, no minister have oversight responsibility. Yeah, then they discard my minister and to no aside the government, no. And yes, I didn't know Ministry of Finance, your friends, Agric. Ultimate Agric budget, no, over her now, quack a different baby. Yes, Agric ministry or no budget, no, cocoa board, na cocoa board, akobo bosia, akobo bibusia, other ministry. Tourist ministry, until make one dime. Tourist ministry, create one dime. Now we do holiday 6 March. Labadi beach to me ma ya Gigi Scano. Obakono minata so be a crown and to my nest and naso. Omede Labadi hne de command. Na Ministry of Yususon Yamanika Krebi. And there's no supervision, there's no monitoring, there's no control. And to be bahokrana, I'm sorry, Utim Kujina, you know, a beach or no shit in Oko. Kokenya or no fee say what him the tourism I am the second major income. Do you get it? Kokenya, Gambia crank as a come due mukuomu. But all the tourism, the dollars is stronger che we see this. Only apart from granite. When you need mineral resources to back up the economy, what they want your gold. American consume $10 million on cocoa related products on daily basis. One day, $10 million. And it is a Ghana, our fair share of world cocoa, about 49% of world cocoa on the market. Now we call farms. What's the region? Akrabia no wanum. Wanum.
Oh, David. On to me.
When your friend is saying,
oh, on to me.
What do Anumiloda? Na rather no. What try and say the sunum Coca-Cola. Akrabia work Crasibiano or pe Fanta ananum.
Because Sprite nanum.
Or pe cook. A kuno. More of us, a kuno my how because the class actually. Oh.
Happy FM.
Yeah, come. Omawi.
Baba?
Yeah, come.
Who's a signal?
Yeah,
and there's an issue ongoing that we have to discuss. It all boils down on some of the things here. Also, recently, police, frustration, asset in. People do not understand. Obi etimiko police ebedu DSP. No, I'm not going to tuition and more so kuno. Abra wa yire wo ba. You know what is happening?
Yentri Humra.
Cobra.
Yentri Humra. Happy 98.9 FM no so good so you know. Me Al-Wahab Farouk or ye international diplomatic consultant. And I mean din common and some na ya bro so no dear. Minim say what to be. Now one thing has become that clear. Omaino our approach to enema ewo ma we mu nyina no kire se odwene ho entrasum nanso gua na egusu ayeye me how no have we not come to the realization say our approaches our mechanisms, our strategies, our programs, our interventions and said that emfa ensunsan so papa bia mre enti ebe jayana anase e besisem Yehu ye, empanyimfo omdi omayanim. Yehu ye, omuhu bi nso omunte ye. Ensio etoye e na wante ade ati en wanhu fom. Yentu yen huta mra. Yenko police insensem a wo kan.
Yes.
Say because enra make kan article bi in one of the newspapers and a psychologist bi a psychiatrist wo ka say most of these police officers, no, they need a psychological evaluation and sana ya mama kwa kuyejima. After even omuwa juma no mukrano, they still need that evaluation.
Yes. Menen bayajin. How do I say? But there are more to it than only the psychological or psychiatric problems. It's not indeed, the major issue is not a psychiatric issue. Major issue is promotional motivation. And now most police or my disorganized. And now most police, I'm sorry, reality see so or me are corrupt no. And our police je bribe no. And you more. Papa,
but was in a team. Say a promotional motivation.
And no na ama affect omo. And you know the promotional motivation is say some of them indeed or a Ghanaian or a police be a real good service personnel. Or one agent say what the no see idea obey a human papa. E be me yo no all of them na you. E be a human papa. But look at say ye fano 2006. The first promotion beba. So no anya graduate obenya 8 years and say no anya ababa kun bajo dey say
in the year 2006 you expect to say 2014
afena no obenya ne corporal wajire no ho ye adwuma. But in any other jurisdictions of the world, including the world police in including the UK, it is not the number of years that you serve, but the output, the input, the duties, the service delivery is what takes you into promotion. And what the person say, se nipa ne ya adwuma 8 years, obi obayire no ho investigator bu amapa obo ntiase kra. And that investigator no ayire no ho ya adwuma, he goes home to sleep without food. About promotion, ye promote omo batch no. Ni 8 years ni nuye enti ma no 8 years ni ruya edru a ye be select those ones de be bakane e run into that e could do the senior officers starting from DSP echo ne batch edu ha na bia jumpo but those no jump ja no omo ye corrupt obi anim said they are bad police officers when you say sifie when you ska toka the Marco school abroad. Now, no, genuinely, or station hono, or tin salary home, or you sue Rascatia car, or Boku Nibi, or DSP at the nature for trotro. Not those ones na omunya jumano, omuya day, promotion be an echo. And imagine, say, or what bear 35 years, or what bear 38 years, after no do DSP. After 23 years of police service, and that's after 15 years of police service, no. Now I graduate nothing and the first year. And to who say, or adding age, not the 8 years, and now 4 years, and sana, the year promotion, abe canon, a book do level be, you have to write exams. A bit more, they are clever, intelligent. Why exam for them to promote him? You fail no, near promoting him colleagues, and in a moment. So, and yes, sir, any pressure, but you are talking about a pressure from the service, no one in the service, the selflessness. Anyhow, a person, and can be a person or share, or better than you know, not in a radar, or be chamber hall, or high dine. Name or share, MTTU corpora. I be down 3, be down 4. Are you too late for him? And the frustration are setting in. Nema real school man twaso. Nere most of the police officers, with all due respect, nere eton etoto kokko isle gonkwa no so. A man etoto kokko ne body no. Do don na police for him. Entebim sa imagine say me a corpora e won kra ha. Me ma me re metoto kokko, excuse me to say. There be. Ento ono no de what the man 1 cedi aban fabra ko no age. Or Dibia cotton cement. Number officer be no madam for dispatch rider, police in Krumha. On a do Saturday and a pa, no call Cape Coast Road no so, market war. Or G 1, 2, 3, 4, or ba no Dibia Caswa market, no Abrema Coco back home. Abacha Macoco. And a papa, the family who or Gibetria or Bano Atakutu, no Amamba, no the co. Or Dinidra, or the Amani, or Tunicha Catan and Motrebi, or Bettina and Fufu, no Didi. I see it down, come. But what I say, beginning no, now you're a perfect officer. Senania Mrea, Osi Dano, Naka 1 year. I'm an aqua pension. Into the sergeant and the coffee after almost about 30-something years of service. And imagine Sabrino
Happy FM.
Sending me a police service, my advice Ben or the Bemano. Do you get it? Advice Ben or the Bemano. Sanadam for be police know who the oil just on to come obey. And we have said and we are saying, say, crime, I say a coso, any a coso no. Because you've detached them, what did not do barracks, Jan and one track community, Bubu police barracks and facility offices, crown administration, and your military no keep promo base. Police have to be within the community, they have to live with the community. Don't keep there. And that's what you do airport police station now. We need 8, 1 floor, now 1 toilet. Over kono our kitchen. The usage of the facility. And to Atiwa, Sefa, which is on Copa Dynasty. And to use what then 1,700 Ghana cedi salary in the Bokaku. No.
Happy F.
Or better Doc Space Wagon. And no Kada, Ebu Adi dear 2010. Or Kaskan Boma or the Cotra, your police ni or a corporal sit down easily got tax as $40,000 to Chaka could sit down. He's not stupid. Because at the end of the day, the promotion crown farmer know their pension. Why do you hold their promotions and you don't motivate them by promoting them to do the right thing? No, himself or your sergeant and or even who Juma, Equia arrest papa, educate papa, you bet my promoting ako ASP. Do you think so better because the salary in a bit take care of him? And to obey the right thing. No obey a women in a chino. Watch this. Oh, Papa. See our police stations be a chroma here. Oka was a cover a sheet bra. Non show case now. Cover o blank stations sheet asa. Sava, we have a problem in this country, and we don't want to face the reality.
I didn't think that we don't want to face the reality.
The reality is not in us. And I'm captured say we are very democracy is about truth also. We are very undemocratic. Make an article be one of the MPB, Mr. Kojo Nyako. Sorry, so using your name as a reference. Or Mr. Central Region baby. Or say Ghanaians should not judge Madam Howard Kumsin from speaking not the Queen's English. That does not make her an intelligent person. And English language is not our language. So don't judge somebody by the language.
But what language do you use as
Papa,
official language?
And Amibisa say, legislators in this country, by that what the MP said, I'm referring because it's a news item, so we all read, so there's no secret. Say English language, Yamfan judge you will be competence ayate. I don't know you to English language, any mathematics, Ama will be so on Pempianko Chatelary.
Happy FM.
Because one pass English. What alternative have you given to people who failed English language? What alternative have legislators in the country made at the parliament convincing and then telling the ministry, the parliamentary committee on education? And then the alternative solution, so be how clever. Examination pressure man to me failing. Or be back to mathematics 20,000 failing in or back to English 20,000 failing that failing but or cabro for grammatically perfect. What alternative do you have for that person as an MP? A cover so one people for Nanko year, what's we don't measure the performance by English language. But me and I'm coca brofo. Me fairly English there, many alternative in this country. And to me, mechanic be an amempe. Me your friend is saying refrigeration mechanic, a bit an amempe.
Happy
it's your alternative, no what him for. What is the alternative? Give me the alternative and I'll comply. You don't have. Now, Parliament said that more 9 languages. 9 languages. A local language. Otimika. Now, the fact that we are minister does not mean say, look, Tanzania, Uganda, I get me, Malawi, Kenya, obi to Kenya Parliament, Papa Brofun Piena no da, but we legislator or seven community, Uncle Cabrofo. Your Tanzanians are this Swahili, why graduate on Tibrofo, why MP. Now, my dear, Moiram home, some Bacabrofo, now they be tired. Nantisa country ban office were smart. Our democratic enough. Our 26 committee members. Our woman parliamentary committee or appointment committee. Now for minister or no ya grele no because the other ones no don't ba brofo no babeka. One man metra no so musatwi. And the balance ne said you suppose if you want to do a clever governance, clever administration, and NDC betra ho, and say NDC ministers are any kwa say NDC ni kwa panel ni mu. It's supposed to be the opposite against the opposite so that you can deal with the subject. Do you expect say Esla ebeba betra ho ebusa question or say chimensa aman ho akire no. Do you expect Matthew Poku Prampe ebenya any of the ministers now better what would sound question man watching no and more 137 members do you still have to include those ones some your minister then this is the country ben has a kind of cantata game no apart from Ghana what the 13 ministers neighbor your friends say committee members neighbor about the question, the integrity, the preparedness, the mental psyche, the know-how, the technology, the thinking, and the smartness, and all those things that you can talk about it. No, as I confirm, will be on no other time you question. Or not approve of my. How do you even go and ask? What audacity do you have to ask a question whereas you've not been approved?
When you're on the same scale.
And it's a one who approve will be enough so we are disprove. So yes, say yeah, then say template. And I don't need it, in fact.
Rubber stamp.
Rubber stamp. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, rubber stamp. I don't did I day?
Matia said. And Mumusa said, Yamusa parliamentarian now, appointment committee nom to including Haruna. So, Musa, Mr. Seche Mensabunsoba, said that Ben Yebeka law sunimu. The laws that when another party don't have majority, the ministers never ban. No minister from the other side, no member from the other side
should be on the panel.
Should be on the panel because enough senses, you know, one against one. Moko vote to a lobby. In Tom Kwajis Kanuma sorry call. Where 13, where 13. Obiani pipi ni biya betwa manede. Ananya sanete. MPP ni bia betwa manade MPP for no minister bia chusu ni bia no 13 members ni na ye
so twa you
ye into a per 5 e wa ha dia ba be ka ho enti dia ka na eden o mu ye namfo rob my back e china could be you no matter no mko enti na ntina mo we country any time
ma mbisa wan say na dey nkomo ni ba wi ma mbisa you made mention of the fact that in our part of the world, we've not come to fully understand democracy.
Yes.
What do we need to do to understand democracy?
Democracy must have a consistent build-up of changes. The changes that impacting the people. Democracy must see, say, governance, administration, not only politics, governance, administration, better economy. But is that this is what we talk about, democratic nation. Democratic nation gives rights to people, to children, to women, to you and I, that I have the chance. So I don't need to have my father in government before I can get employment. Democratic nation does not tolerate, say, presidency, any list, to the sense that JSS exams, JSS junior secondary school exam results. You know, we have a list at the Command Ministry of Education. Self man krawe ye pe opoku ware ha ye pe presek wa is that democratic nation? No. Democracy does not mean say me no mienu yanko interview job employment ba wo papa ne hwan a me papa de akwasi ade wote hene wote bogo so ye de ba adwuma oye farmer okay
odokoko
de oye farmer ode koko nkran oye farmer bo an odon kate no mia na koko gina ha ma jo what I say. Or results is not what they are looking at it. That's undemocratic nation. But where democracy gives a fairness, a fair balance, equal platform for everybody to be able to what? To show your capacity and contribute towards the national income. But what I say? Have we gotten there yet? No. Policing, omo kwa, yadeni yadi piku omo. Protocol. Immigration, protocol. Customs, protocol. Prison officer, obi okwachi obi, protocol. And every sector, a democratic nation, beacon of democracy, baby a protocol. With democracy now so practicing. Why is it? Now say 275 members of country, 275, and actually 30 million. Now my character here, when the Bible said this kind of infant questions way of parliament because they are your colleagues.
Happy
and no BBC.
What is fish farming?
And no BBC. I'm say honorable Ajasafua. Yes. Obetina ho. Edena ebae. Ni colleagues ni hu say ampa owe ye nche okohwe ne ba. Enti adwa we de yankwa anim ye jaw. Ko. Questions ye musa bibibi. Enti sa me gender information a me ba choment no ho.
Open social protection policies and strategies,
Mente.
programs, new implementation plans. I want to.
By any abano susu fran to my free na baye. That just no hofe. Or in any dear name dear na betnasi. And it is a near him sad and I'm wasting the time. A man free ba. To come and do what? Because she will be approved. Or your colleague, or honorable member, or a ranking member. Now I'm not better. Some of you say a crown in the yastic, and the day say beyond a crown in there. I can strongly say, honorable some crowds, the house girls will fee. But what I then say, and to that kind of, I say, one, both parties, MPP and DC, I say, a drew her, ye say, a drew her, ye say. Now, say, other person, also baho. Don't so catch your say, honorable members. Bamcho meba na my wife the fabro de hano nti o kolebu kakra o bet baka so ne de on will be from tontanse. Can you do that? Natural say questions so nyina na ye personal obi ayi obi we obi ayi we say we kaka say publication we say na ya boxing nyina together. Democratic nation doesn't do that. Once more, democratic nation will not do it, say. What Ministry of Foreign Affairs that's supposed to be the engineer, collector, moving and then making sure say, the country international investments or a mobilizer. Now we are ambassadorial appointments. Or career diplomats at foreign affairs, secretaries at foreign affairs. Or now what your friend say? Your foreign ministry, you are your ambassadorial. One woman listen. Political career. Country ben yes I say be inse. So funny because of politics. I didn't call political desk of the embassy. You don't take somebody. Excuse me to say. On him the difference between where to stand or where to start to listen when they visit nations. You don't take Obia or free party. What did not call as an activist? Now Pejaya bam diplomatic nation like UK, London, now the Nakoto. Over not Nako to Paris, over not Nako to Berlin, over not Nako to Washington, and yet only anything next to diplomacy. Now career diplomacy. What now are frustrating? Ne do se omo ko transfer and that's a posting sa. No akofa woman be room last year no. Anam so omi di protocol no. Omi na ko Berlin. Omi na ko ha. Omi na ko ha. Omi na ko Japan. Omi na ko Japan. Omi na ko ha. No omi ko near di wa wo no fi say wo de sefa. What ten ukuro ne.
Akuanze. Akuanze
mfanti kuro.
There be achim.
Aha. Who say no esa ko ni je. By your name. Happy Yashua, Obin can just say foreign affairs. Because we didn't maintain that. A cruelty. I cry what is now? What's up to document? One and found call. No. One call. Do you understand me? Na meme banami te cantonments out here dakuma. Oh dakuma oh bakwa himpa no. Njakwaze ese ukọ Sierra Leone anakọ Niger Chad. That is what a democratic nation operates. Is that how they operate? For foreign affairs, now from no common troubles in show. Obia did 16 years. Why a secretary, top class, diplomatic secretary, on court transfer, not even Togo border. Obia did 3 years or New York. Wouldn't the person be frustrated? I mean, you saw my friend Edgar Pierre or Maryland. Edgar, I'm a very good friend. Edgar, hello. He's one of the best guys who had been mine. Long serving a friend. He's the first person to have interviewed me in this country way back 21 years ago.
Wow.
First person. And when he interviewed me the first time, he never stopped until he relocated. Edgar, take care of yourself and the children, my boys. Auntie, your
problem.
Your problem. And we don't want to deal with it. We do not want to deal with it. And it is so sad. Very sad.
Mr. Wahab Farouk.
Yes, sir. Now, also obey the interview, this interview.
Obekasa.
Ama
NDC.
Okay. Election petition. Madam for pardon, no. Oh, politics in TSA and crime. Mini Shakwam Kasa because one kind of crunch. Mr. Has meaning now attested you 25 hours. Once I shall politics you to Abasi. What about in some of the can? Meet your pancha Yamasaba.
Wam dizia me wa na phobia ye team ya say.
We me no. You go say do me be a chair. We me pa na me nsa. Honorable Siama transport minister.
Yeah.
Ya me ansa tra one seat. Ba me nua honorable ya mo ncha na me hu ne da since so ye me.
Is the Al-Wahab Farouk that say Oba Happy FM studios. If I want the Benjamin Day so now only about to train come.
Nyame nka mo ho.
Me did it say you better ahia bio. You better train come bio because and some no e koso wo man we na doso. Na enyanum dini bi te se wo na o kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm me yɛ tin nsɛm wase. Na emabunu no aye ba no me de my issue is with emabunu no aye ba no. Sesi amabunu ni nyina ye nyina nipa pinu ansa ehye politicians nanum.
But the point again is that let me just support you. The youth that we expected so we take over the reins of the old politician, the political class of Ghana. Say youth no be rap politics no. I'm sorry with all due respect. We are for Chenkokra for number 2. Nyame no munya djuma.
Yapon.
Happy FM.
Happy 98.9 FM. And what's good to out here.